18. Membership of the committee. I think we're all here. Kathy's apologies. She's had to go to hospital, so she's gave her apologies. Before we go into the main agenda, we've got one item that's been deferred, so we'll take that in January. That's item 13. And we've got another item on Pioneer House, so we will take that before we go into private session, which is after item 15. Is that okay? Okay, thank you very much. Item 2, minutes of previous meeting. Are they a correct record? Thank you. Item 3, any interest? If you have any interest, please fill the forms in and give them back. Item 4, admission of the public. Have you got any public members? Yeah. The officers? No. Are you all officers? Right, okay. So we've got no public. Item 5, any deputations? No deputations. Number 6, public question time. There is no public, so we've got no questions. Member question time. I don't know how to classify Tony. Are you a public? Are you a? You're a friend to me. Okay. Item 7, members question time. There isn't any members besides the cabinet members. Item 8, capital plan. Proposed allocation of capital funding for the Directorate for Children and Learning and Early Support baseline sections of the capital plan. Masood?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chair, you'll have to bear with me. I've got a wheezy cough as well. It's not contagious. I might as well mention that before people start moving. This report will identify potential projects for member approval to be funded from the 2018-19 2021 Learning and Early Support Special Provision Grant, SEND Future Needs Review and the Healthy Pupils Capital Fund sections of the Capital Plan. Okay, members are asked to approve the allocation of 145k required capital to the relocation of Ethos College from the Learning and Early Support SEND Future Needs Review Baseline Fund. Point 2.7 goes through what the money will be spent on: provision of a science lab, adaptation of a kitchen for teaching, replacement of some small toilets, wash basins and minor door security adaptations. Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Ahmed. Are we okay to approve that? Councillor Khan?
The report also includes the allocation of £358,000 for our maintained schools from the Healthy Pupils Capital Fund. And there's a list of possible projects that schools could undertake, and it's found in Appendix A. We've yet to work out the methodology for the distribution of this funding. However, it is welcome. However, it is still a very small sum if we are going to adequately address our children's mental health and physical needs.
Thank you, Councillor Khan. Are we okay to approve that report? Thank you very much. Item 9, setting and approving term dates for community voluntary controlled and community special schools. Councillor Ahmed.
Thank you, Chair. Kirklees Local Authority, as the admission authority, determines term dates for community voluntary controlled and community special schools. This report is being presented in order to seek approval for Kirklees Council to change how it determines term dates for the academic year 2020, 21 and thereafter. Members are asked to approve the switch from using the Kirklees Policy 1993 from setting term dates for Kirklees community controlled and community special schools to using the LGA recommended Yorkshire and North East regions guiding principles for the 2020-21 academic year and thereafter. Members are asked to approve the setting of the term dates for each academic year will be delegated to the Service Director, Learning and Early Support, following engagement with the Education and Learning and Partnership Board. By having an agreed principle for setting term dates that aligns with our neighbouring local authorities will make the process of setting term dates a more coordinated and routine process. I ask members to see Appendix 1 and 2 of the report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Ahmed. Are we okay to approve that report? Thank you, members. Item 10, Masood again, half-yearly monitoring report. Oh, no, it's not Masood, sorry, it's Graham. Yeah, I was on a roll.
That'd be a challenge.
Right, sorry, Graham. Treasury Management Activities 2018-19, Graham.
So, yeah, Chair, thank you. This is the half-yearly report from Corporate Governance and Audit Committee. As Cabinet will see, this is a very long, detailed report into our Treasury Management function and has been prepared in accordance with SITFA Code of Practice. One thing worth bringing to Cabinet's attention is the proposals for officers to further explore an investment opportunity of between 5 and 10 million in a local authority property fund. This needs some further government clarification, which has been sought by officers, and once you receive that clarification, this will come back to portfolio holders. Chair, I ask Cabinet to accept this report.
Thank you, Councillor Turner. Are we okay to approve that report? Thank you, members. Item 11, a response to Ombudsman Report 13 September 2018. Councillor Kendrick.
Thank you, Chair. This is a report following a little bit of history, a complaint to the Ombudsman in 2016, and attached to this report is the Ombudsman's report that was published in September this year. Part of that report, if you look at item 2, says that the Council must consider the report and confirm within 3 months the action it's taken or proposes to take, and the Council should consider the report at its full Council or Cabinet or other appropriate committee. And that is why this report is here today, to fulfil that requirement. We have spoken previously about the SEND Special Educational Need Assessment and Commissioning Team, which is SENDACT, and I don't intend to repeat that title again, and our agreement in May this year for further investment in the service. So whilst the Ombudsman quite rightly found that we hadn't done right by this particular child and family, it was against the background of a team under great pressure, requiring to do more, and we really hadn't invested enough in this team. We have since then invested in this team. There is further training, and I do believe by January the larger structure will be in place. There have been a series of meetings with parents and carers of children with special educational needs, and those meetings continue, so that parents and carers can express their concerns about the quality of service and the impact that this has on the provision for their child or children and their progress. And part of that, the parent involved in this Ofsted complaint has been involved in that, and we are grateful to her and all of the parents who've been actively involved in helping us get it right, because when we've got it wrong, we need to put our hands up and make sure we get it right for now and in the future. Plans for reviewing the service have been shared with parents, and their feedback has been included in the team's action plan. And an agreed series of meetings are being held so that parents can monitor progress of the review, and that's absolutely right, and of the action plan. And the first meeting of that process was on the 24th of October this year. It has been to scrutiny, and they've looked at the high needs review action plan and have agreed where it should be going. And I would refer members to page 94, to items 4, 5 and 6, which I don't intend to read out in great detail, but there's been an awful lot of consultation and dialogue through the high needs review, and it's involved parents of children with special educational needs, the PCAN group, the whole autism family and the Down syndrome and friends group. And that's been critical to developing our service and what we provide for children and their families. And Cabinet members are asked to note the formal Ofsted report that it's been received and consider the actions within this report that are being made to make sure that we improve and give really good service to members of our community. So I would recommend that the Cabinet acknowledge and accept this report.
Thank you, Councillor Kendrick. Masood, do you want to second that and say a few words?
I think my colleague, Councillor Kendrick, sort of echoed that. I think I wanted to support everything that she just basically just said. Really. I don't really want to say more being said.
Thank you, Masood. I thought you'd make a comment on the Downs and Special Friends group, because we continue to go and see them, and it's really pleasing that we've actually got them part of the other groups that we're working with to actually make sure that we actually are at the cutting edge developing the service. So I welcome the recommendations and we move forward. Is that okay, members? Thank you very much. Item 12, facilitating the development of fixed line broadband service. Is that Councillor
I'll move the
McBride?
Recommendations under 6. This proposal simply enables telecommunication providers to access our land and have rights of way across it to provide a more efficient and effective telecommunications services throughout the borough, which long-term should mean more industry, more business, better jobs, and so very welcome.
Thank you, Councillor McBride. Nahid, are you going to... Councillor Shade?
Just want to comment on section 6, part 6.1.2, where it talks about the method of laying these cables and such like. Can we be ensured that when they are setting out the procedure where the application, where it should be laid and maintained, that in every case where it's possible they should be using service ducts? In any service ducts, because British Telecom won't use them and some of the other facilities won't use them. They insist on digging up the road or pavement. So if service ducts are not available, then I think there should be look at whether it's possible to put not on the road or pavement on the grass verges, so you're not digging up the roads. Where it's not possible to do that, can I please the next preference should be the pavement rather than roads, because it is expensive. Digging up roads and it causes more potholes and determination to the road surface. And we're getting more and more requests for these people, and they should be sharing the same ducts rather than all digging their own individual channels and putting them through. So we should be really looking at item 2, we should be really setting out a specification that forces them to use common ducts and to not destroy our road surfaces just for the sake of it. It's because Margaret Thatcher gave them the right to do it, they shouldn't undertake it.
Could I partially answer that? Not fully. I do know that in the introduction of the scoot system in all our traffic lights, they are planning to ensure that you don't dig the road up twice, that the ducts for that will be similarly used for the telecommunications network. That isn't going to cover all the problem, and I do take the point you're making, yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Sheed. Councillor McBride, for the response. Are we okay to approve this? Thank you. Item 13 has been withdrawn. Item 14, we have Councillor Alison Munro to ask a question that you did not manage at the last council meeting to Councillor Graham Turner. Fire away.
Thank you. My question, it was question 18 on the full council meeting on November the 7th, and it concerns Almonbury Carnegie Library. We have a great library in Almonbury, which is an historic purpose-built Carnegie Library building, for which there is overwhelming local support for the service to remain there. So why are the council intent on moving it to the Sherstart Centre, which will only dilute the service? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Munro. Councillor Turner.
Okay, so Councillor Munro, thank you for the question. You're quite right. Almonbury does have a great library. You're quite right, it's an historic building which does have its charms. However, it does have some drawbacks. And if we are to provide a modern library service fit for now and the future, then we must ensure that we operate from a building situated to the current and future needs, to the current and future needs of the residents of Almonbury. The proposal to remove the library to the Children's Centre would have the added benefit of being more centrally located. The size and flexibility of the building means that we could locate additional services alongside the library, keep it open for longer, offer access to more activities, and it can be used for more community events and meetings. All those things will meet the criteria contained in the recent Cabinet report, which was August this year, on the future of the library service. I, along with officers, will work with the local community as we develop services in each area, and it's important that we understand any concerns or the ideas they have about how we move forward. This is not about closing down libraries or reducing services. It's about making sure we invest in the right places that are accessible to communities and make sure that our services are sustainable for now and the future. I have yet to receive any evidence that there is overwhelming support to maintain the current status quo. We had an open day a couple of weeks ago, and I attended, and as did the council leader. And at that point, most of the people I spoke to were in favour of moving. If you'd be kind enough to supply me with that evidence of the overwhelming support, that'd be fantastic, because we can use that as part of the engagement process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a supplementary question, please?
Yes, you can.
Okay. My supplementary question is, so if the service does move to the Sure Start Centre, how many other initiatives are planned to be run from that building?
Sorry, I didn't catch it. How many more?
How many other initiatives are planned to be run from that building?
As many as people are prepared to develop, and as many as we can fit in there. The idea about moving to a purpose-built bin is the fact that we can deliver much more initiatives, and much more community groups can meet there, and that will depend on the demand. As I say, I was at the open day, and we had several members of the local community who came to us and spoke to us and said, oh, we'd like to do so-and-so, we'd like to do this. But until we actually move into the building, and then we engage with the residents, once we've moved, if we move, we shall wait and see what residents want to do. But there was an overwhelming support at that meeting, and people came to me and said, we'd love to do this, this and this for there. So I think there'll be quite a significant amount of initiatives that develop within that building.
Thank you, Councillor Turner. And just to add to what Councillor Turner said, Councillor Munro, I attended the event over the weekend, and from what I saw, the evidence was substantial to actually relocate the service along with everything else to the Short Start Centre. I actually also went round the area, and I think it's an ideal location. It's actually very central, and the building is a very modern building. It's got ample parking. It's got a whole range of activities that can be accommodated around there. It's got a lot of land, and what I would encourage you to do is get behind the proposal, because it can be actually a new service that can develop in Almonbury. Thank you. Item.
Excuse me. Sorry, I've got another question.
Was there another question that we've got?
Yeah, question 19 from.
Sorry, Alison. Councillor Munro.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was question. It followed on from my questions that were on the November the 7th agenda. My question concerns the local plan. The time for responding to the additional modifications that were proposed by the inspector.
Can I? Sorry, I'm just trying to. Is it question?
It's different.
Right. Okay, I'm just making sure that we've got the right question right here for the record. Councillor Munro, sorry about that. Okay.
So, is it question 11 then on your agenda? Sorry, I do apologise for that. Yes, the time for responding to the additional modifications proposed by the inspector closed on October 1st. I note that on all council-owned land across Kirklees, the wording, this site is owned by Kirklees and as such could deliver enhanced affordable housing and green infrastructure and offer design and quality that is of a high standard, has been deleted. I have not seen any recorded comments from Cabinet to suggest that you do not agree with the inspector's proposed modification. My question, therefore, is how can you justify this when there is a backlog of over 6,000 affordable homes required to be built over the next few years to clear the backlog, according to the Strategic Housing Market Assessment 2016? Thank you.
Councillor McBride.
Yep. As far as the local plan was concerned, the inspector's comment, we didn't demur from the inspector's comments. We agreed with the inspector, and so any modification she proposed, we have accepted. But with regard to the number of affordable houses, the number of affordable houses is an aspiration. We try as far as we can to achieve that objective. There is a backlog. It's not a backlog exactly. It's a gap in terms of aspiration as opposed to achievement. The reason we've made this comment about our own land is we can assuredly say the number of affordable houses there will be because we own the land. In the case of all other applications over the previous local plan, we did not have that power. So our ability to deliver on was partly dependent on negotiations with developers to say what they could afford to provide and what they couldn't. Always difficult to know what is viable and what is not viable. We set ourselves targets. Mostly we achieved them, but obviously we didn't totally over that period. We can with regard to our own land because we can assuredly say there will be that proportion. So that is the reason for this, these differential statements.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you, Councillor Munro, for attending. My apologies for misunderstanding the numbering of the questions. Okay, we move on to item 15, Transport Services 3-year Capital Investment Vehicle Replacement Programme.
Yes, it's me.
Have you all read the private section? Yes, thank you, members. Before we go into private session, are we...
It's in 2 parts.
Right, we don't need to go in private session. Right, okay, so we'll just stay in public session. Item 15. Okay.
Item 15, Transport Services 3-year Capital Investment Vehicle Replacement Programme, 2018 to 2021. The Council has been rolling out a phased approach to vehicle replacement over a number of years. This was introduced to ensure that there is an even distribution across the range of vehicle models of the number of vehicles being replaced each year. This safeguards against risk and reduces the level of financial and corporate risk as outlined in the Council's current risk register. This approach ensures a balanced fleet outcome across the number of years to maintain operational delivery and demonstrates value for money performance measures. The West Yorkshire Low Emission Strategy recognises the role local authority fleet composition has in helping to improve local air quality. Our older vehicles are often the most polluting. Purchasing newer, cleaner, more up-to-date vehicles with the latest Euro category engines will reduce emissions and improve our local air quality. I ask Cabinet colleagues to approve the continued investment of £4 million in the vehicle replacement programme for financial years 2018 to 2021, and Cabinet colleagues are requested to approve the officer delegations outlined in paragraph 2.6 above to manage the implementation of the vehicle replacement programme within the agreed budget and in accordance with the Council's financial procedure rules. Dated June 2018 to the Services Director for Commercial, Regulatory and Operational Services. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mather. Peter, seconder, thank you. Any more comments? Thank you. Go on to the item that's been tabled as an emergency item on Pioneer House contribution to college fit-out works. Councillor Turner.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. This is a late issue and it gets into the agenda. As we all well know, that we've had a number of issues with developing Pioneer House, which was something we purchased through a CPO back in July 2011. Work has been ongoing for some time now to bring that back into use, and it will form part of what we call the Dewsbury Learning Quarter, or DLQ. This report seeks £2 million, which is in the capital budget, towards the fit-out costs of Pioneer House, and in the form of a grant. As I said, this has been an ongoing problem, and this will be the final tranche of money to ensure that the Pioneer House is brought back into use, will contribute to the Dewsbury Learning Quarter, will help reinvigorate that part of Dewsbury by increased footfall. So, Chair, I ask Cabinet to approve the modification to the previous Council's Cabinet report and authorising the grant of £2 million to the Pioneer House.
Thank you, Councillor Turner. Are we okay to approve that, Councillor Ahmed?
I just want to echo what Councillor Turner has said, and having seen the Springfield Centre develop on Bradford Road, the sixth form, and how vibrant that is, I do believe that the Pioneer House, which is an iconic building, and I know it used to be a snooker club, which I used to go and play. I know the leader used to go and play there as well with his brother as well. So I'm really welcome this morning into the town centre, and I know a lot of people have been asking me about Pioneer House, and I'm really pleased that we're doing this, and thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Dave, I used to go to pictures there. when it was a picture house.
I can't remember the picture bit.
I've never been there.
Actually, talking about snooker, he was a damn good snooker player, my brother, wasn't he? Anyway, are we okay to approve that report? Thank you, members. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you for your time. Good night.